I'm back with another triggering topic. Now, today I want to talk about Blueface and Pimp philosophy and why Blueface is so successful at continuing to find women that he is able to manipulate and degrade. I also want to talk about what happens when you ignore the red flags, what happens when you see another woman get drugged by her edges, and yet somehow you feel like you're the exception to the rule when it comes to dealing with a belligerent bandit, a diabolical Dusty. But let me show y'all a clip of exactly what I mean, and I'll be right back.
What the fuck is you crying for?
Why the fuck do you keep talking to me?
Because what the fuck is you crying for, nigga?
You have no reason to be calling me a bitch. Shut the fuck up.
I always call you a bitch. Why do you care so much?
You have no reason to be calling me one, though. Shut the fuck up talking to me. The fuck is wrong with you? Shut the fuck up talking to me.
So you gonna cry like a bitch, but you don't want me to call you a bitch.
Let me have my moment. Shut the fuck up talking to me. Keep talking like a bitch.
Why is it so hard for you to just think a little?
Like what the fuck? You don't have to be fucking rude and call somebody out their name for no reason. Fuck, you would make a moment turn into a hateful one. Shut the fuck up talking to me.
You know I call bitches and hoes.
I'm not calling you a bitch ass nigga because you're acting like one right now. Shut up talking to me.
You call me a bitch all the time.
Shut up talking to me. Because you'll be starting me. So therefore, shut up talking to me.
But you just started me though.
By doing one little thing.
One thing that'll cost us our fucking life, you dumb bitch. What the fuck are you?
And you literally be on go live going to fucking food places that people know where you're at.
That's in the moment, you dumb bitch. That's not planning, bitch. So a motherfucker could plan, bitch. Are you stupid, bitch? We're definitely not, bitch. You just fucked up the whole shit, bitch, because you a dumb bitch. What the fuck? God damn. Alright. If you get tired of me calling you a bitch, get the fuck out the way. Another bitch won't mind.
Okay. Cool.
Bitch.
If you know anything about Blueface, that scene seems very familiar, right? You've seen him do that a million times, right? And if you don't know, let me jog your memory.
You're a goofy bitch.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so it took something for you to get 7 fucking tattoos, right, you goofy bitch?
Stop talking to me
Then
crazy.
stop being goofy.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. As I was watching those clips, I found myself enraged, pissed off, angry. But you know, I could also see the play. And that what I'm witnessing with these women may seem like chaos to others, but it's actually a very sophisticated manipulation and brainwashing. But quick disclaimer, y'all see it on the screen. This is alleged. Nothing is factual. I don't know these people personally. It's just my opinion, blah, blah, blah. You know the procedure. Now, Blueface is heavily into pimp culture and uses pimp tactics in order to control these women. Now, it may seem as if he just picks any woman, but he is actually very selective because only certain archetypes of women will allow themselves to be treated like this. And right now, pimp culture is making a resurgence into pop culture. And a lot of young men, they may not right now make the women go out on the track and sell their bodies there, but these new age pimps just want to be the pimp, the customer, using a woman up from all angles. They want to publicly degrade the women, humiliate the women, keep the women's money, and just keep her down bad all around. And thinking about this is something that I really wanted to talk about because a lot of young black girls are being taken advantage of, and maybe not even in this way, in this way, but even in more diabolical ways. Because if you know the stats on sex trafficking, underage sex trafficking specifically, the majority of underage girls that are caught selling their bodies, which most of the time they are forced to do so, those are young black girls. So pimp culture, pimp philosophy, pimp ideologies, it is not something that should be taken lightly, even though it oftentimes is. But in my opinion, the reason why it's taken so lightly and looked at is almost like entertaining is why you have supposedly funny characters like a pimp named Slickback on the Boondocks. But even beyond that, really what I want to do is give you guys some real information so that you can know if you've ever come across a man that is trying to psychologically break you down. So let's talk about it. Pimps and traffickers break women down psychologically through a systematic cycle of grooming, isolation, trauma bonding, and coercive control. They establish complete dominance by destroying the victim's self-esteem and creating a state of absolute psychological and financial dependency. That's exactly why, if you notice, somebody like Corey Holcomb said that he doesn't even hang around women that don't need him. He doesn't hang around women that aren't in poverty. Now, the methodology used to break a woman down usually involves several distinct stages. Number one, the grooming phase, selling a dream. Pimps rarely start off with violence. Instead, they identify vulnerabilities like poverty, low self-esteem, or family estrangement. Once again, if you notice, several men that use this ideology have said these things publicly. So a lot of times you have the Romeo pimp. They often pose as perfect, affectionate boyfriends. Or love bombing. They shower the victim with gifts, attention, and false promises of a better life to build trust. Number two, isolation. Once trust is established, the perpetrator systematically cuts the woman off from her support system. Relocation. They frequently move the woman to new cities, removing her from her familiar environment and support networks. Control of communication. They confiscate phones, monitor social media, and dictate who she is allowed to talk to, making her solely dependent on them for reality and connection. Number three, degradation and devaluation. After isolating the victim, the persona shifts from a loving partner to an abuser. Traumatic stress. They use extreme psychological manipulation, humiliation, sleep deprivation, and substance abuse to strip away the victim's sense of self. Trauma bonding, Stockholm syndrome. Pimps alternate unpredictably between severe abuse and brief moments of affection. This confuses the victim and causes her to form a psychological attachment to her abuser as a survival mechanism. Number four, coercive control. Pimps require absolute obedience. They enforce this through violence and fear. Guerrilla pimps rely on direct, brutal physical abuse, rape, and threats of harm to break the human will. Shame and guilt. They force victims into illicit acts, then use that participation, often involving drugs, as blackmail, threatening to expose them to their families or the law if they try to leave. Diddy and R. Kelly did both of these things. It is on record. People said that R. Kelly, a lot of the young women that he was attached to, said that he had them engage in perverted sex acts and then filmed them and said, hey, I'm going to release these. Diddy went to Cassie's on record, her mother, to say, hey, I'm going to expose your daughter. So these things are very much in play. And I guess I have to say allegedly. But if you have Google, you can find these things very easily. Number five, financial exploitation. The ultimate goal of breaking a woman down is total economic subjugation. Victims are forced to hand over all earnings, creating a power dynamic where the woman cannot afford to escape or survive on her own. Krishan Rock said multiple times that she was giving Blueface all of her money, her Zeus money. So there it is. So once again, these are the things that these men are doing. You have to recognize the signs, because if you don't recognize the signs, you end up like Krishan, Jaden, or Nevaeh, and you sit there and let a man constantly degrade you and humiliate you and hurt you, and you're wondering why you are still there. Not to say that they don't have some part to play in this, but what has happened is they have been manipulated and maybe they didn't even know it. Imagine getting into a situation because you think that you're going to possibly get 15 minutes of fame, but you end up getting manipulated into playing the picture perfect role of a goofy for years and maybe even possibly the rest of your life. And that's why it's so very important to have self-esteem, to love yourself, to speak life into yourself, to not settle for less, to not prioritize or value the presence of a man unless he is treating you with respect and like the queen that you are. Because when you don't pour into yourself, when you're male-centered, when you are desperate, when you are looking for a man to save you, you don't attract men that want to save you. You attract men that only want to make you worse off. You attract men that will drink your tears. And what I mean by that is that your pain, your tears are their fuel, their hydration, not your happiness and your well-being. Now, in my opinion, pimps are different from energy vampires, but they're under the same umbrella, if you will. And once again, for anybody that says, oh, these women aren't victims, I don't feel sorry for them. I'm not saying that you have to. I'm not saying that these women don't have a responsibility to themselves and that they don't play a part in their own degradation, because they do. I don't know if I said this, but I'm going to say it. I find it hard to find empathy for women like this. I find it hard to be empathetic to a woman like Nevaeh, who you literally saw that he had ripped hair from the scalp of Krishan Rock, and you decided you want to have a baby by this man? You want to link bloodlines with this man? Are you nuts? No, I don't understand it. I don't. Because I do know that at this point, these women that have some type of popularity, that they can easily disconnect from this man. However, psychological ties are deep. Look at Krishan's tattoos of that demonic man and his name all over her body. That speaks to the fact that she has been mentally manipulated in some way, because he did nothing for her but publicly degrade her. So why would she do that? Or Nevaeh, his current or soon-to-be baby mama, she has a tattoo of this man, barely knowing him 2 minutes. And I looked it up online. It said that his first baby mama had a picture of this man on her butt. So these are signs of complete mind control at some point or whatever. And then it's like all of them are having kids that are more than likely going to be just as dysfunctional and delayed as they are if there is no intervention. If there's no intervention, and to be honest with you, I don't see no intervention happening. But my thing is not even really for them, because in my opinion, I feel like they're too far gone. They're too far gone. I just want any young black woman or young black girl listening to this, do not be fooled. Do not be fooled by Blueface or any man like that, because at this point, I feel like it's a conspiracy, because there are a lot of channels, a lot of pages, no matter where you go, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever, there is a glorification of pimp culture and telling men very sophisticated ways on how to manipulate women to get them to do things that they would have never done if they had not been mentally manipulated by someone that was skilled in the art of manipulation. Because in my opinion, Blueface is a pimp, and the women that engage with him are his 304s. I don't care what anybody says. And in my opinion, you will never, ever, ever win in a connection like that, because the whole basis of it is a man being a parasite. He's not bringing anything to you. He's not bringing any value and worth to you. You're bringing all of the value, and he's taking it all and degrading you while he does so. He sucks you dry, drains you, takes everything that you have to offer, and keeps it to sustain himself. He degrades the women on his live stream. Yet he still looks like the man. He says that women have no worth or value, but no one is interested in him unless he's doing something to women. You get what I mean? I don't know. I just decided to talk about pimp ideology and how to spot it, because there are so many men doing it right now. Because truth be told, I'm going to tell y'all another secret, that pimp ideology is the bare bones and the framework of red pill ideology as well. Pimp ideology and red pill ideology go hand in hand. Really. They're doggone near married. And like I said, I do struggle to have empathy for these women in particular. Not all women that have been preyed upon by pimps, because there are a lot of young girls that they genuinely didn't know any better, and they were preyed on by these men. They were just looking for food, shelter, and clothing. So you get what I'm saying. But these women in particular, I find it hard to have empathy, because Simply Blueface's reputation precedes him. You know what it is when you see that man. And I also think that Blueface is a perfect example of black male coddling as well. Honestly, when black men are coddled, which really, that's what happens to the majority of black men in the community, unfortunately. But black male coddling always ends up in black men indulging in the psychology of degrading black women in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Really. Which is really why, in my opinion, we have the highest femicide rates here in the United States. And also so many black men unaliving their mothers at this time as well. In my opinion, it is all connected to the coddling and making it seem as if women are there, and more specifically, if black women are there, their only purpose is to be subservient to a man and to be used by him. And that could be your mama, it could be your daughter, it could be your lover, your baby mama, whoever. It doesn't matter if you are a black female, and I'm saying female on purpose. If you are a black female, it is your purpose. It is your only purpose to be used and abused and subservient to men. But, I just wanted to say that if you're supporting Blueface, you watching his streams, you doing anything with this man, you supporting any of these bird brain women that have become involved with him, you really are contributing to the destruction of the black community. And not only that, you are contributing to more black women and black girls being preyed upon. Because the more he becomes popular and his ideologies become mainstream, more men will do it and more women will fall victim to it. But I guess that's all I really had to say. Be safe and stay dangerous, ladies. So, I digress. If you watched this whole video and you truly enjoyed it, then please do me a favor and drop a 2-2 down below in the comments. And you already know why, because Blueface is boo. And if you can't donate to my Cash App above to help support the channel, that's no problem at all. Just do your girl a free favor. Follow me on my second channel, Certified Overreactions. It's fun over there. Follow your girl on TikTok. I do live stream there. Follow your girl on YouTube. Hype me up. And as always, ladies, I really love to hear from y'all. So please drop your thoughts, comments, and feelings down below.